Hello, hello, good morning. Happy Tuesday. My name is Nikki, and this is the Body Love Lounge. This is actually my first time going live on YouTube, so I'm just checking it out and seeing, what's good with the platform. But I did want to talk today about rest, about the importance of rest, about the fact that rest is our birthright. And I also wanted to talk about an upcoming event that we are having on Thursday at 8 o'clock. And so, first, I do have a book here, Rest is Sacred, Reclaiming Our Brilliance Through the Practice of Stillness by Octavia Ephraim. And if you are not tapped in with this book, I would say get tapped in with it. I want to say this is her third book, and her books are all about rest, all about like restorative yoga, rest practices, and she says some really good things. So, first, I'm going to read a section or a little bit from the opening prayer, and it says, "We may be among the first in our lineage to feel rested, to trust rest, to be safe enough to embody rest. We will not be the last. A rested body is a free body. A rested heart is a liberated heart. A mind at ease is a mind that can change any paradigm. A mind at ease is a mind that can change any paradigm." So, first, when she says that we may be among the first in our lineage to feel rested, I do want to invite us to consider the ways that those who came before us might have experienced rest. So while they might not have felt rested, there still may have been moments where they were experiencing rest in some capacity. And I remember I was on TikTok a while ago and I was asking people about rest. And, some folks are saying that they feel or they don't feel comfortable with it and they don't know how to rest. Because growing up, they weren't allowed to rest. They always had to be doing something, cleaning something. Like there was no time where you could just take a nap. And then sometimes I'll ask people, what did rest look like for you growing up? And they would say, well, nobody rested in my family because they didn't see people who were taking naps or who might have been laying around. But rest looks different. There's many different ways. And so I know for me, um, like my grandmother, she will always watch. What is that show? Is it Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, I think whatever used to come on before Jeopardy, I think it's Wheel of Fortune. She will always watch Wheel of Fortune. And so that was a form of rest, right? Coming home after work, watching your shows. There's some folks who maybe when their mom came home, she would go in her room for a little bit and, nobody could speak to her and she would just be in there chilling. And then maybe she would come out, she would make dinner, whatever. That decompression time that she had in her room, that was her rest. If you grew up somewhere where there was a porch and your people were sitting out on the porch, maybe maybe with a cigar, maybe with a pipe, maybe with whatever, and that was their wind down time. That is considered rest. And so it doesn't have to look like taking a nap. And even with rest now in your life, I don't have the full list in my mind right now, but there are 7 different types of rest. Meditation can be considered rest. Talking to your friends on the phone, connecting with your people can be considered rest. Um, Going for a walk, doing yoga. There's so many different things that can be considered rest. And so I'm inviting you to consider what rest looks like in your life. And maybe it changes based on the season. But it is not, especially with Juneteenth being this week, it's time for us. If you're not already tapped in with the rest movement, if you're not already part of the rest ministry, then I invite you to come on over. Here at the Body Love Lounge, I'm all about helping Black women create soft spaces for themselves and to create more compassionate and loving relationships with their bodies. And so maybe rest for you right now is in not beating yourself up over how you look. Maybe you are taking rest from getting on the scale every day, from over policing yourself in what you're doing in the gym and what you're eating. Maybe you're just taking a moment to breathe and to tap into your intuition and to see how you want to move, to see, you know, what kind of works for you. But rest is very, very important, which is why we are having a class this Thursday, Naptivism 101, and we'll be engaging with restorative yoga and meditation. And so, restorative yoga is a form of yoga in which we use props. It is very, very prop heavy. We're using bolsters, we're using pillows, we're using blankets, we're using we're using blocks. If you have an eye mask, you can grab your eye mask, but creating a really, really soft space for you to just let go. And so in restorative yoga, the goal here is no stretch, no resistance, no tension. It's allowing the props to fully support the body, allowing yourself to feel fully supported and to know that you are supported in this life. And then the meditation piece is going to be a relaxing meditation. You might fall asleep, you might not fall asleep. Either way, it's okay. But we'll focus on our breath and we'll relax. And it's going to be powerful because we're doing this in community with others. And I was saying, in discussing this, I was saying, like if you're a Black woman who's dealing with burnout and you're not really sure what to do, restorative yoga is great. And even if you're not dealing with burnout, if you're already hip to the magic and the power of restorative yoga, then I would love to see you there. This is going to be Thursday from 8 to 9:30 ish or whatever. So going into Juneteenth resting for those who came before you, who didn't have the luxury of spending up to 90 minutes restoring themselves, replenishing themselves, regulating their nervous system. And even if you have folks in your life now who are, they're go getters, they're hustlers, they're working all the time because they have so many different things that they have to take care of, resting for them. And so, yeah, that is what I got for y'all today. We're talking about rest, about feeling rested, resting for those who came before you, resting for your people now, resting for those who, come after you. So, yeah, happy Tuesday. I'm going to try and put the link to the event in the description. But if you made it to the end of this, thank you so much, and I will see y'all later.